This was very impressive, but I would like to know, what was your impression?
Fantastic as always.
Fantastic as always. You have been jumping around because you're sweating all over.
I'm sweating since I arrived.
So, and how is it to be so close to Jean-Michel Jarre?
Also fantastic.
Also sweaty.
Yes, very.
So, what do you guys think about Theo and Thea?
Ouais, c'est génial.
Comme d'habitude, c'est magnifique. C'est magnifique.
In English, it's genius.
It's beautiful, it's genial.
Okay, so I saw a lot of people jumping around in the audience, but I saw also a lot of people photographing, filming. You're in a little hole, you can't run, come here. So, what you're shooting, you're making pictures, are they all for your own collection?
Yes, of course, yes. And for the family, yes. We have some family around here. And we'll of course like to... we kunnen het ook gewoon in het Nederlands zeggen, uiteraard. We willen dat graag bewaren voor toekomstige tijden. En ik vond het ook wel leuk om te vermelden dat Tim, mijn zoon hier, stond mee te spelen.
This is a very proud father. And one more. And you are the girlfriend, or?
I'm the girlfriend.
But what do you think about the whole musical performance? And also about your boyfriend, but what do you think about Theo and Thea?
Fantastic. It's really good.
Okay. There's something I want to ask. Are there people here who have been fans from Jean-Michel for a long time? Yeah! There's somebody here who is a very big fan. I'm just looking for my camera. Okay. Tell me, for how long have you been a fan?
Almost 15 years, I think. Yeah, I'm sure there are people.
But he's still young, eh?
Yeah.
And is this the first time you see him live?
No, the third time. One's in Brussels and one's in Paris, and this is the third time.
So this is an experienced fan. What do you think about Theo and Thea?
Yeah, I really like the CD a lot, and it's a bit more dance. And but it's very nice. He always does something different with all of his CDs, so that's very.
It is different. So it is different. What do you like about the difference in Jean-Michel's work?
Well, I think it's very cool that each time he comes up with a new CD, he also comes up with a whole new concept. He comes up with like he did in 1990, he comes up with a concept for Jacques Cousteau, the Commandant Jacques Cousteau. For example, in a bit later, he's really thinking about time and all our opinion on time and how we feel time. And now he again comes up with a really new concept about Theo and Thea. I like it. I like the
It's all very positive what I hear, and I didn't expect something else either. So I'm looking around if the master himself is ready, because we have a lot of questions here from all over the world, because this concert has been shown all over the world. You are very, very much spoiled to be here so close to him. But he's not ready yet. So, one more thing. I was standing here waiting to come up, and I saw here a lot of people going. Tell me, what is Jean-Michel Jarre for you? Or who is Jean-Michel Jarre for you?
For me, he's a big experience. I'm a musician myself. I get a lot of influence from him. He's always ahead of his time. And yeah, a place like this is like a giant, brilliant discotheque for me right now. So I'm having a lot of fun here, yeah.
So you're not going home yet?
No. If it's to me, no. He can play another hour or two for me if it's...
Okay, I'll give him the message. This is, I think everybody has the same idea. He can play another hour for us, isn't he? So, I think Jean-Michel is ready now, so I would love to invite him with a big applause. Here is Jean-Michel Jarre.
Thank you.
Everybody wants to shake your hand. I'm going to kiss him. Welcome. Yes, that's the difference. Jean-Michel, how does it feel to be performing again?
I was feeling like a beginner because it's first of all it's the brand new album. The first time that I was playing a few tracks for this occasion. I'm really happy to be here at in Antwerp for this premiere. And actually, I really would like to thank Alpha Cam and Euro 1080 because they did fantastic work, and it's because of them if we are all over the world today. So please, I would like big applause for them, please. Thank you very much.
So I don't have to ask you if you're happy to be in Belgium again, because you already answered the question. You're very happy today. And we have a lot of people with a lot of questions here in the audience. So I would like to start with a question from this corner here. Our cameraman. Do you have a question for Jean-Marie? For Jean-Michel?
Oh, it could be anything.
Sorry.
She stayed up all night for that question. Your dad is also a well-known musician, obviously. I mean, music-wise, you go from one string to another, but soundtrack-wise, have you ever been tempted to write from scratch a complete soundtrack?
Actually, it's funny you are asking. I mean, for quite a while, I considered that it was really his sector. Mm-hmm. So I was a bit remote and saying, okay, that's my dad's job. And but nowadays it's fairly different. And actually, I just finished a soundtrack partly with some existing songs, but also with new songs from Volker Schlondorf for a movie called Strike, and this great German director who did the Tin Drum a few years ago, and have other soundtracks projects. So to fulfill that.
In a way, Tia and Thea is a bit soundtrack-ish, if we may say. Yeah,
actually, it's true. I mean, some tracks of Tia and Thea. I mean, actually, the whole album is like a kind of soundtrack. I really developed this album with the idea of the encounter. I mean, the whole idea. Maybe it's your next question. Maybe. But
yes,
anyway,
that was the question. Tell me about the story of Theo and Tia.
That's right. So actually, Theo and Tia is not a kind of love story, but I've been really impressed the past few months and years to see that we have more and more communication tools. I mean, today we are all over the world, all together through Europe. I mean, in Poland, in Hungary. Actually, I say hello to all our Polish friends and friends from Hungary and Spain and all of the European countries. And Denmark, yes, that's true. Denmark and all the other countries, and Holland and Belgium and France and Germany and
you were telling
the
about
European community and beyond, and Australia and the moon and all that.
Yeah, okay. But
so having said that, I mean, Theo and Tia is really the idea of the fact that these days it seems that more we have communication tools with mobile phones, internet, and cable television. It seems to send us back to a kind of feeling of loneliness, and we can see that on the explosion on the websites of such as Meetic, and people trying to meet and find his or her partner, not only for sexual reasons, also for sexual reasons, but not only for that, but also to try to find maybe somebody to share common values or the same emotion, the same feelings, and actually Theo and Tia on that aspect are not telling a story, but trying to describe the different state of a relationship. And a relationship is obviously an exciting, electrifying moment, and it's probably the reason why this album is probably my most rhythmic album, and the most also fun. I hope.
You're talking about the most rhythmic album, and this is a question from Sigrun from Germany, because we were talking about technology.
Hi, Sigrun.
She asked, this album sounds very rhythmic and dynamic, a big change for you? She also says kisses.
Okay, so I'll keep the last word then. But I'm going to answer the question as well.
That's good.
So, no, it's as we are talking about that just before this performance. I mean, it's probably my most rhythmic album because of the fact that, as I said, the moment of an encounter is probably the very exciting moment for all of us. So I went to the idea to use more dance floor beats. Dance floors are also a place where you can make encounters. So all that was making sense. Do you agree with that? Yeah, okay. Fine.
Let's make an encounter with somebody in the audience. Is there somebody who has a question for Jean-Michel? Yes.
In fact, I met my girlfriend on the dance floor, so 5 years ago, and we're still happy.
Happy anniversary then.
Yeah, thank you very much, Messi. What I really want to know, you are known for your big, megalomaniac, hysteric, grand outdoor concerts. Now it is more dance floor aimed album. Are you planning to do a tour club in discotheques and clubs?
Yeah, actually, yes. I would like to play this album in some dance clubs and discotheques in Europe, also as a presentation, a little bit like in that kind of context. Brilliant. And the plan and the idea is to do the main European cities, starting in Paris at the Queen club in Champs-Élysées, and then going to London and Madrid and probably Brussels and Milano and Barcelona and.
So you will be back, that's for sure.
Amsterdam, yes.
Any plans?
Are you also going to Poland? Because we have a question of Agata. She says, Jean-Michel, how did you compose your album? P.S. I'm crazy about it.
That's very nice. Actually, I composed the album in a fairly different way than usually. Usually, I'm most of the time going deep into one song, and I'm losing myself for 1 month, and then a bit desperately, I start a second one. This time, I really did 50 demos, very rough demos, in 1 month, like when you are working on a rock album, where you are with a band, and then you play a few chords, and just you have an idea, and you keep it, and going for something else. And then I walked in studio. And then from these 50 demos, I took 20, I developed them, and from which I selected the one in T.O.N.T.A. album.
Okay, that's a good answer. Are there more questions here in the studio? Yes, there's one, the guy in the green. I hope they'll reach you with the microphone, yes.
Yeah. In the 80s, we had a Dutch duo called T.O.N.T.A. And it was a kids program. Do we know something about it, or have you seen something?
Yeah, they are I'm absolute fan, and I'm an absolute fan. And you may see in the next few days on YouTube kind of alternative videos about T.O.N.T.A.
Yeah.
We have a question from Brazil, from Roberto. What is your opinion of electronic music since your album Oxygen, Love?
I think electronic music is not just a fashion or a style, but a new way of doing music. And obviously, I have a thought about my absolute master called Pierre Schaeffer. He actually is the one who headed the Music Research Center in Paris, and he's really the one who invented all this by saying this very simple sentence that music is not only made of notes and solfeggios and harmonies, but also is made of sounds. And the difference between a noise and a musical sound, is the intention of the musician. And that actually changed the whole music of the second half of the 20th century. And nowadays, all DJs, all electronic musicians, but also any kind of music being produced all around the world is using this kind of sound design, soundtrack-ish type of approach of sounds.
Sounds that create emotion. That's what I saw today.
Yeah, actually, talking about that, I mean, actually the beauty of music compared to songs with lyrics is actually it's probably the sole mode of expression where you can actually let the audience create their own story or their own movie they have in their minds, and that's totally different from a movie or from a song with lyrics. And it's what T.O.N.T.A. is actually. It's not telling a story, but I hope letting you create your own Tia and T.O.N.T.A. and maybe meeting your own T.O.N.T.A. on this album. I hope for you.
It's a guidance.
Let's say like that. I'm not intending to make any sect.
Okay.
So it's not a guidance. It's just something that could accompany you from time to time, I hope.
Okay, more questions. There's yes.
Where is Francis?
So Francis is actually busy in his studio, and we are going to find him back soon in the next concerts. But that was a kind of club gig where we had a kind of rhythmic setups, and we just this small presentation, not with the full band.
Okay, one more question from Christophe from France. Lots of people consider you as the big boss of electronic music. What do you think about that?
I don't have any ambition on being a boss of anyone. I'm just happy to have been joined all over the years by lots of different people now using lots of strange instruments. And nowadays there are much less strange because more or less everybody are using them.
Jean-Michel, I would like to thank you for this wonderful performance, to have the time to ask you some questions, and I think we have to give him another round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.